Greetings everyone and welcome back to Kadic Reviews. But this isn't an ordinary Kadic review. This might be the single toughest Kadic review that's ever been done. Why? Because it's a merger with the other series we do here, the New 26. That's right, it's time. After 3 years, multiple dates, writers moving over, producers moving over, and a lot of hype, we are finally here. 4 years ago, when I took the bet to start watching Friendship is Magic and ultimately started reviewing, I would have never personally dreamed that I would be making this review about this thing, about this movie. You see, back in 2010, My Little Pony Friendship is Magic debuted 7 years ago tomorrow, with a lot of uncertainty, a lot of trepidation, and a lot of course it will fail. Mainly because of its history as a property and most notably as a TV show. Most notably capped off with the 1985 My Little Pony the movie that was a commercial critical bomb. It practically drove My Little Pony into the grave to be turned into glue, only to be resurrected by the great creative mind of Lauren Faust in 2010 into its current incarnation. But after 165 of the movie's release, episodes, 7 seasons with an 8th on the way, back 3 years ago, they finally decided to bring the successful Friendship is Magic to the big screen. So now the time has come. Is the big screen adaptation of a series that went from nothing to one of the biggest fandoms ever worth your time? Now keep in mind, this is the spoiler-free review, and I'm going to try to be as non-brony as I possibly can. But let me stress this: if you are not a long-term fan of the show, if you haven't been watching since season 3 or so, this movie is probably going to confuse you, frustrate you, and you're probably going to wonder where you place. If you don't have a standard understanding of how the show works, or have watched any of the episodes at all, and are going into this clearly blind as a family film, this might trip you up a lot, because in one point, its simplistic and formulaic and fast-paced story is meant for the casual fan that are non-fans. But there are so many references, so many in-jokes or in-reference to the fandom and to previous episodes of the series, and even its tone is done very similar to a few episodes in the series, that being a fan of the series is almost, without being explicitly stated, a prerequisite here, which makes this movie hard to recommend completely for the non-My Little Pony fan. But as an animated movie, it created 3 things that are very important. First off, It's an animated movie, so let's talk about the animation. Hasbro created its own production studio, with this movie being the first to be produced under it. Although Transformers The Last Night also comes out under the appropriately titled AllSpark brand, but originally when AllSpark was made as a concept, this was why it was created for. This movie runs off of an animation system known as Toon Boom. It's a 2D animation style, but is done with 3D elements, thus creating the sense that 2D characters are surviving and thriving on a 3D plane. The Toon Boom animation system makes the characters of what I call on this channel the Harney Six pop off better than they've ever done in history. The colors are vivid, vibrant, and bold, as character expressions have never looked better in the history of the franchise, with eyes popping virtually off screen, faces moving, and seemingly perfect animation while the ponies and other creatures are in motion, with great audio composition, and sound quality to match. Also, on top of that, some of the 3D backgrounds, and yes, some of the backgrounds are in 3D, are questionable when still or slowed down, but when they are in full motion, it never has looked better than this. And trust me, this movie is going to suffer from Blu-ray and DVD compression, because it's really meant to be seen in big widescreen. Equestria has never looked bolder, better, or quicker than this, and it's a true animation treat, if for nothing else. From its use of subtle paper-drawn 2D in some sections to, of course, the visual aesthetic throughout the movie. It is a great watch in terms of that and that alone. But an animated movie also has two other facets: its story and its meaning of sorts. Story-wise, you could put this up against standard old-school Disney flicks. Simple, not too hard to understand, and not very complex. Twilight Sparkle, my inner waifu and spirit animal, voiced by voice acting legend Tara Strong, of course, and the rest of the Friendship is Magic cast are preparing for the Festival of Friendship. Cue your Kevin Owens references here. But during the said festival preparations, evil comes afoot, mostly led by Emily Blunt's Tempest Shadow. By the way, there's a big reveal at the very end of the movie about this. And Tempest is looking to conquer, and it looks like she seemingly does, but she's not doing it for herself. She's doing it for the Storm King. The Storm King is a vibrant, very Cusco-like character from the Emperor's New Groove, but he's got his own goals in mind, taking the magic from the four Alicorn princesses. For those not know, that would be said Twilight Sparkle, Princesses Leslie and Luna, the princesses of the sun and the moon, and Princess Kadic, the princess of love, using a rare magical artifact that Tempest managed to attain. This is where the movie first falters for the non-My Little Pony fan. Before you watch this movie, know that there are prequel material in the form of a couple of books, but most notably a 4-issue comic series that acts as a backstory point to the movie's introduction. Without this information, it can be hard going in cold to enjoy this movie. So before making the choice to go see it non-brony, make sure to get yourself educated, if only in that. So, due to the Festival of Friendship being broken up by this encroaching empire, it's up to Twilight Sparkle and her 5 friends. Sadly, the 7th new character added in the show has no presence in this movie, which is sad, but by and large, they're off on a quest that sends them to new places never before seen in the series, and a few new characters as well. A lot of new characters, mind you. In fact, this movie is bolstered by its multi-character serenade. Mostly noted are Michael Pena's Grubber, who doesn't really play much of a role here as comic relief, and Sia's character that is mainly used in 2 scenes and for the signature song at the end of the movie. She doesn't play much of a role here. The characters that do are the characters of Kappa the cat, who is a fast talking semi-beef of a cat who is looking to get his own edge and favor within the evil villains, and a pirate parrot captain known as Captain Selena. They play the biggest roles here, as well as an uppity hippogriff known as Princess Skystar, and her mother, the hippogriff queen, Princess Novo, who happened to also be not only the hippogriffs, but a repackaged version of the old sea ponies from the '85 show, which can cause some confusion, but it's done really well here. Most of the new characters, sans a few, are forgettable. It's mainly the main 6's show here. And it shows, seeing that their voice acting and camaraderie at this point are like riding a bicycle. But the key thing that puts this movie in rarefied air, at least for me at least, is the music. Composer Daniel Ingram, who has been doing all the music for the show up to this point, is finally given a full orchestra and money to burn. And thus, he has created a musical soundtrack that is on par with some of the best Disney movies out there. Sure, it's no Beauty and the Beast or Aladdin, but it will most certainly kick the tar of Emperor's New Groove, Hercules, among others. In fact, the movie essentially starts with a song and ends with one, each song getting progressively better over time. The key songs King's songs are two. Open Up Your Eyes near the end of the movie, a traditional Disney villain motivation theme. And the key song that might be remembered more long term is Rainbow Dash's Time to Be Awesome, an upbeat, positive song with a pirate beat that not only symbolizes rebellion but Rainbow Dash's character as a whole for the nons. But every song is well done, and even a few of them have nods to older songs in the series. The soundtrack is the strongest point, and the fact that it's a musical brings me back to the days of yore where 2D animation musicals used to be standard. And it shows here. It's sorely missed, and that's what gives My Little Pony, the movie, its charm. It's just a fun, innocent ride. Yes, it's formulaic, and yes, a lot of plot points could be done better if given more time than 99 minutes, but its casual pacing keeps everything up to date. But it does no hand-holding for the non-My Little Pony fan. Either you know these characters like family, or you don't. It doesn't do anything to alleviate or convince you to join the herd, as it were. But its musical soundtrack and visuals are what guide this home. And it's really fun. Jokes and comedy are well done, if not jokes being subpar and not exactly memorable. You will get a few chuckles, especially out of the visual gags that are made throughout the movie. It's just a great time and a great movie for kids, and especially given a recent tragedy. A movie about getting along, harmony, finding your place, and being given a chance to do the right thing is what's sorely needed, not only in today's entertainment industry, but in today's world. For the first time in a long time with a piece of media, I was able to escape. Yes, it was escaping to a place that I know all too well, but it's still an escape. It brought me back to when I was a kid, childlike innocence, watching Disney movies on my little TV with a VCR attached. Remembering the music and the visuals and just being awe-inspired by the imagination on hand. It's animated movies like this that need to be made more frequently. Animation movies done with heart and effort, not CGI or big voice acting budgets, although this one most certainly did do that. But the main stars of the show have always been the stars of the show. My Little Pony, the movie, knows exactly what it is, and it doesn't compromise it, even for the casual fan. It's a 99-minute episode of the series, just done bigger, bolder, and better than it's ever been done, with references aplenty to fan-favorite music, fans, and just keeping the characters intact. For long-term fans, this is a treat. For non-fans, however, you'll end up confused unsure about what you'll see. And quite frankly, I can't recommend this movie for you if that's one of your deal breakers. But if you want a callback to old Disney movies and how they made you feel, and a sense of true joy and imagination on the screen with pictures popping big and bold, and a great experience for even the youngest of sets, My Little Pony the movie will satiate that. And sadly, it might be in a class all on its own for a while. Let's hope it's not. Pony fans, rejoice. This is definitely for you, by you, with respect for you. It may not be for everyone, but if you're looking for a true animated escape, you won't find any movie better right now. That's why I'm proud, despite its flaws, albeit minimal, to do something that I have never done for a Kadic review for a movie. And it's not just because of what it is. It's a movie that I sorely needed, not only in the context of what it is, it's how it is. We all need peace in the world. We all need an escape. And we all need an example of what to do, especially in a world for kids where that's becoming more and more uncertain. My Little Pony the movie gets a perfect score, a 10 out of 10 for Kadic reviews. But this won't be the only time I'm talking about this movie, because very soon it's time to go full brony on this. It's time to allow a certain period of the day to appear for the first time, because when I talk about this movie again, we're going into spoiler territory, and it's Pinky O'Clock. Time to talk about all the references and all the things when I see you next time. I'm Nirvana Sparkle. Find peace in your own nirvana. And if you haven't yet, enjoy the show.